Hi everyone, this is video number 34 and it's primarily really on crude oil. You can see the two charts here at the moment, and one is the dax30, the other is the crude oil. They're both set at 30 minutes. Really this is in relation to some of G's screenshots and one thing and another recently, and before we look at the charts I'm just going to bring one or two other things up first. Now G has mentioned, I can't remember what it was now, it was talking about using real volume at some point. Obviously with the platforms we're using we've got tick volume, so it's not really a centralised unit where we can get volume information from, because it's not quite like shares, is it, where there's a certain amount of shares out there to be bought and sold. So one thing I just wanted to bring up, because the only other area where we have volume where we're referring to real volume is possibly on the futures market. Now I know I have read up on this a little bit in the past, and people have tried to look at the correlation between the forex market. Obviously we're talking about forex here at the moment, not sort of crude oil, though obviously the tick volume we have there is off the MT4 platform. People have tried to compare the volume, the tick volume on the forex market to the volume on the forex futures market, and there seems to be varying opinions on that. So I'll just bring something forward and talk about it. So I'm going to bring up bar chart. I'll just drag that across. So what I've got here, look, is obviously the futures contracts. Here you can see the expiry dates of these, and of course what we have got is volume down here. So I guess these are logically going to be high volume areas because these are the next lot of contracts to expire. So does anybody use this? Is there any sort of correlation here? Does anybody use this information? So that's the first thing I wanted to just bring up. See if I can get rid of this. Okay. The other bit of fundamental analysis, if you like, is the EIA, and that's the US Energy Information Administration. So if you go onto that site and click on here, sources and uses, petroleum and other liquids, what you'll get now, look, is quite a bit of information. There's loads of data and one thing, and there's lots to go through here. You can click on here, data. This is a drop down menu, so if you click on that, this will all come up on another page, analysis projections, and this includes petroleum in the week, I think it's called. It's just loading. So if you go across, it's obviously running very slowly because my family are on the internet. But if you click on here, I think you've got week in petroleum, like a drop down box here, so I'll just get rid of that for now. The other thing you can look at is the American Petroleum Institute. The info comes out I think on a Tuesday, sometimes on a Wednesday. There is a schedule you can click on here. I used to get the information through a paid service, and I think you have to, I think if you want the Tuesday's nightly, it's issued on a Tuesday night, the info. I'll just bring the schedule across. Right, here's the schedule. Sometimes it comes out on a Wednesday. I'll just get rid of that. So that's another area of fundamental analysis. Let's get rid of that. The other one I used to watch was this forum here, First Enercast Financial. Interesting, it's American based. You can look on, obviously, you know, crude oil news. There's various forums here, but they're quite interesting. They're American chaps, and it's quite entertaining. So let's get rid of that. And of course the other area where you can access info is COT data, and you can also access through that information on the positions that the banks hold, not just in America but around the world. So there's lots of info there if you really want to get your head full of an amazing amount of information. You can look at things like oil flows through the Henry Hub in America and try and determine usage. You can also find sites on weather reports and weather forecasts in America to estimate how much oil is going to be used prior to the Wednesday's crude oil inventories. So lots and lots of information there. So one question is, if you're going to look at rail volume for crude oil, where would you look? Okay. So two charts. Now G had the dax30 up and the crude oil 30 up. So the dax30 M30 if you like. And what it has said is about sort of footprints of the elephants and one thing and another, and there's obviously some sort of correlation, isn't there, between these two. So has anybody got any ideas, or have they got any anything they can share really on the correlation between the two? Any trading strategies? This indicator is very good, the OBV divergence, Getty's divergence. If you look at the red dots and the yellow dots, they're basically peaks and troughs. I suppose you could, they're almost a bit like a ZZ type, a zigzag indicator, aren't they? Where it's picking up on peaks and troughs within the price, but in an OBV way, I suppose, an unbalanced volume way. So if you pick on the last, I'll just zoom in a little bit here. Let's just have a quick, we'll just have a quick look at this. If I get the right chart, it would help. So for example, if we look at the two last, or the last three dots here, if you like, let's just pop a line in here and we'll just see what happened. Though. So that was the last high point. So if you were around here, you would obviously, let me just start again with this. Right, get rid of that one. So if you were trading along here and we're here and then we're here, so between these two lines we're looking for a breakout from this point forward. So let's put a vertical in there so everyone knows what on earth I'm talking about, if I can get this thing to work. Right, so we've had a high here and now we've got a low, and we're looking for a breakout between these two horizontal lines. Obviously this is the area here. I'm just going to do a very quick one on this one, I'm not going to get involved in it. And of course the breakout is around this area here, isn't it? So looking at the TVI, we've got the red bars, obviously it's above the zero line, so it's actually in a positive sort of territory in an uptrend, but obviously we know it's not at the moment because it's going to go into a short territory. So where this breached, I'm not quite sure. Once we're here, it's obviously definitely gone under, but we have got a white bar here. Once we get to the next one, certainly we're red, we've crossed over, and this obviously, you would, if you caught this bit here, there's certainly a bit of money to be made there. I did watch this one actually today happen, and it was quite interesting. So if we then come down to this point here and come down to this point here, so this point here, this point here, and we're looking for a break in that channel from that point forwards, and of course it's here, look, isn't it? So we've got a couple of blues. I know we're under, so on and so forth. There is a bit of an angle here on the white line on the TVI. We're above average, and of course you could grab this next lot here. So the next area, I suppose, let's move it out of the way. So we've got a point here, and now we're up here, aren't we? So we've got a channel, and the break is now here, look. I'll just move that across, look. So it's sort of in between there and there. I didn't see this one happen, so I don't quite know what happened, but I saw this one go, and that was quite a nice one. So hopefully I'm going to speak to G about one or two things, possibly over the weekend if he's free, and if we can sort of catch each other. So anyway, that's it for now. If anyone's got any thoughts, please add them. Okay, bye now.